Hi, my name is Ben Kennedy. I work for Eden Sustainable. My job role is Operations and Maintenance Manager. Okay, so Operations and Maintenance Manager, we oversee the installations, which is the solar panels that have been put on schools, have been put on factory roofs, and we monitor it via cloud-based apps, so we can see how the system, which is the panels, how that's actually performing against the sun that's been produced, energy it's producing, and what it's going to the school or the building, and then also what's exporting, if that's part of it as well. And we make sure the system is producing as well as it should be able to. Because what happens is, if we don't, then we potentially are financially liable for the guys we've quoted to, and we said, yes, it would produce X amount, and it's not, then we might have to pay them some money back because it hasn't done that. So we need to make sure the system is producing really well the whole time. And so to do that with the monitoring, we'd also, if there's a bit of a fault, we'd see on the monitoring system and we'd analyze it, look at the data, and then maybe send some of our team in to go and have eyes on the ground and properly check out any faults they can see going on, and any fixes that might need to be made to rectify those issues. And just basically a service area of the business, making sure everything's running smoothly. What skills are you supposed to have to do my job? So it's a managerial role. So got to manage contractors who are people, installers that will go to sites and manage how they are going to do their job and all that's involved with that, their timings, communication with sites. Also got a very small team and manage how they're assessing the systems at any one time, reporting to people that put lots of money into owning these systems, reporting back to them to let them know how the system's working. So managerial skills in that, but I would say also what's involved is being able to juggle, negotiate, read people and negotiate well with that, and being able to have that kind of human conversation, interaction. So when you're asking people to do certain things, they're happy to do it, but if you do it in a way where you're going to annoy them and they're less likely to do it for you because you're not a nice person. So top skills, be a nice person. So I'm severely dyslexic, so I do kind of weirdly the problem side of things and trying to figure things out, come up with a vague solution, and then go to the guys who are really technical, know what they're on about, and say, look, we found this issue, can you sort it? So it's the variation of what's involved, and also in our role, we've got an opportunity to look at different areas to help grow our business, our department, and that's the exciting part of it. So being dyslexic absolutely is not a barrier in the solar industry, because generally quite a lot of other dyslexics I know, there'll be engineers or anything kind of problem solving or hands-on or see things slightly differently. So, and I think our field of people in this area, there's quite a few people like that. So it wasn't that, managerial skills, and then having to have conversations with kind of your bosses and people with lots of money in suits is a bit more nervous, but the idea is kind of grafting all the way through your life as dyslexic. You learn all those little ways to work problems out and how to then best sell yourself, because you can't sell yourself academically, but you can sell yourself in the ways that you know you're strong at. And so you get to learn that. I think as dyslexic's a good trait, and you then to use your team effectively because of that. So as long as you can use those guys who are skilled in it, you know where your strengths are, it's fine. And AI is great. Career pathway sounds really corporate, and that's really boring, so I wouldn't call it a career pathway. I'd say, how did I maybe get to this position? And again, massively varied. I did manage to get somehow a degree in business, had a few businesses in the past, because again, going back to dyslexia, I'm not very good at sitting in an office and having people tell me what to do and not understanding it. So I've always gone my own way and wanted to, if I see a problem, wanted to better it, find a solution, and then come up with an answer. And I feel like I could do that better by myself, or people I really respect who give me that growth in my roles to do that. So I've had various businesses in various different areas. Estate manager, had a business marquee, ran a water sports outdoor company. And then I wanted to get to a point where I wanted to kind of put more back into, do something more meaningful. And say, okay, I wanted to get into a green technology. and I had a few contacts with solar, did a bit of domestic, and then put a few feelers out and ended up going to Eden in this managerial role to help grow the department on more of a business side of things, but actually learn a lot of tech and engineering alongside that, which then helps me to delegate effectively because I understand it now. And that was, so that's really varied. It wasn't the standard route. I didn't go to uni to do engineer degree. I didn't get a Sparky qualification. I went down a completely different sideline, but managed to get into it because I got more variable skills. And my role, they had a few engineers in Sparky, but they didn't last very long. So they realized what they needed is someone actually more of an overview, more of a business side of things to help grow and use the expertise we have in the field to do their job, but manage that effectively. Okay, so to get into the solar industry, research, do courses. You can do, well, I suppose if you're a young age and you can do an apprenticeship in electrical apprenticeship, it's really good, or some kind of electronics is really good. And I would say as much research into anything you're interested in is key. It's so easy nowadays with search engines, AI. If you're interested in it, you can properly research and understand it. So that when you come to have those interviews or thinking about what excites you, if you've researched it, you kind of can get excited. If you're not getting excited, then you realize that probably is not your way you want to go. So you can do a lot before you even start a job. And that'll be the angle I'll go, and try and do stuff that is going to help you grow each day, something that's going to help you develop, and something you're interested in. Overall, it's kind of like, okay, how can we help the planet better? How can we kind of make everything more circular? So instead of buying power from the grid, us sending money out to big corporates, can we make it more circular? Have solar on our roof, it's our energy, we could make a bit from that, but that's great. And other ways and forms that we can kind of make our live in our community, keep as much energy or money in that community as possible. We can then grow a lot better. We're a lot more sustainable and resilient as a community in that sense, as opposed to always relying on corporations that haven't got our interests or the planet's interests at heart.